Hey, what's going on, currency heads? It is about 2 o'clock Eastern Time on October 4th, and we're going to do a little daily bill search of some $10 bills. So as you know, there was a redesigned post 2009 for $10 bills. They added quite a bit of anti-counterfeiting measures into them. I do discuss that in another video that also talks about why $10 bills yellow out and are a different color slightly than the other bills after the redesign. So check that video out if you're into that sort of thing, or don't, whatever it is that you do. But let's get right to it. As you can see, this is a series 2013 on the $10 bill, or well, this version of the $10 bill. The series annotation's right down here on the left, and that'll show you the date of the series that this bill's from. So there's a couple changes outside, politically speaking, there was a couple office changes, but those aren't really important to what we're looking for, which is fancy serial numbers, stuff like repeaters, binary notes, trinary notes, date notes, birthday notes, error notes in general for stuff that's not serial number related. So as you can see, they incorporated We the People and just stuff from the Statue of Liberty on the $10 bill. As you know, Alexander Hamilton was one of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence as well as penned it. But nothing jumps out at me on the front of this bill, nothing wrong with any of the color shifting ink or any of the anti-counterfeiting measures that you see on the obverse side of this bill. It is in decent shape though. I wanted to do one that was just on one denomination so we can kind of just talk about it rather than going through pocket change. So I got these from an ATM that dispenses $10 bills instead of just doing 20s, so that's kind of cool. And they started upgrading most of the banks, Bank of America's that is, around town. You can notice in these, it's a lot more prevalent on the newer bills, like you see right here and throughout the bill, where you can see that threading that they embed in the material that makes the bill. As you know, the bills are made up of multiple materials that are not just cotton. So it's quite a unique style of paper that's incorporated into producing the American banknote. But anywho, another 2013. Most of these in here I think are going to all be 2013s. I didn't see anything on that previous one, the serial number, but this one doesn't have much to talk about either as far as serial numbers are concerned. They do match up, which is good as far as the bill being in circulation. Not so good as far as us collecting it. One thing that for a while I was trying to see if it was an error was right on the depiction of the sorry, messed up the camera there. So right here, for a while it's a heavy inking that's on there, but then I found out that it's in fact just part of the graphic itself. I don't know why that is. It just seems darker than the rest of the print if you notice the outside part of this torch here. But it is part of the print, so it's not something, if you do find something that's really heavy ink there, it's not really an error. On the reverse of this bill, this one's a little bit more beat up. We see the U.S. Treasury depicted there on the back. If you're, another little funny tidbit about bills in general is it wasn't until the 50s that they said, "In God We Trust." They wanted that to be uniform across American money. It was already incorporated into coins. But bills themselves actually did not see that until later, really not that long ago. I mean, I know 70 years is long ago, but, in comparison to money in general that's been around for a couple hundred years, that's interesting that they waited so long to put that on there. Anyway, next bill. Same dealio, Series 2013 shown down here at the bottom above this 10. Very good picture of Hamilton. I like how they changed to where to not have the outside outline of the portrait or border around it or whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, let's just jump right back to what we're looking for. I don't see anything that jumps out as far as misprints. It's cut appropriately. It's not a misaligned print or miscut. No shifts in the ink or anything like that. There's a little bit of like some stray inking here, but that's probably from a counter stamp or a hand print of some sort with just ink on it. At first glance, I thought it could be a broken ladder, but no, we are missing some digits as well as some duplicates in there, so we'll just move right along. There was nothing on, I don't see anything on the back of that previous bill, but anyway, nothing else is jumping out at me here. Let's see. Nothing crazy on the obverse. Nothing really on the reverse of the bill, so it's also printed fine. This one's really beat up. Probably the most beat up 2013 series one we've found in this run of bill searching for today. Kind of a lot of stray ink here. Nothing that's coming from production. It's all post-production damage. So it wouldn't be considered errors for any of this stuff. It's definitely been through water too. Let's look at this. Would have been nice if it was just three numerals there. That would have been nice. 3 digits would have been a trinary note, which would have been like 6 9s and 1s, or 3s, 2s, and 9s, or you get it. But those are a lot more common. I have a lot of people that message me pictures of those and stuff to my email, which my email is mr.kmfrank@gmail, or you can search on Google Plus for variety errors. And email me pictures of stuff you find. I'd be glad to see if I know anything about it. So there's an interesting video I have coming out later today that's going to cover an interesting build that someone found in the Facebook group that is originally thought to be either a major ink error, like a lack of ink or a lack of printing, but it's actually quite more interesting of a build than that. So check that video out as well. But let me stop jabber-jawing about a build that's not even in this video. Let's see. As far as anything else I see, the seals are all fine. They're printed appropriately. They fixed a lot of the shift problems over from other denominations when they printed the newer 10s, so that's really cool. Just stuff was kind of oddball on the bill as far as printing is concerned. Nothing in the serial number that jumps out. They match up. Unlike Series 2013 ones, we don't see that heavy inking on the third digit over. Maybe that has to do with placement, but of course it's a different denomination, so the plates that they use to produce these bills are of course different, both design-wise and structurally speaking. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, 10s are utilize a different ink color than ones do, so, and when I talk about that in the video that's about the $10 denomination of Federal Reserve notes. Moving on, though, we do see heavily all the threads and stuff that I mentioned earlier, but that's not an error, it's just something interesting to think about. What's this guy here? Loomis Fargo stamp. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Check that out. It's a good example of a counter stamp. So as they're, usually they do this previous to it going out on the truck to reimburse ATMs. So they stamp them, obviously, to just keep quality assurance and count what they're sending out per truck. Next bill. Nothing crazy. It's been rubbed on quite a bit by other bills and stuff in a pocket. Probably blue jeans from the color of where the crease on the other side, you can tell. Nothing crazy. It's also quite beat up, so I don't really see anything too crazy about this one, and we'll move on. Oh, nice little date bill. So here's a less important fancy serial number. These are usually referred to as birthday notes, but in the essence of it not being a date that somebody has been born, you know, they would have been long dead if they were born in 1326. I collect them as date bills. I do spend some of them after I look them up if there's not a historical event or somebody born on the day or whatever that's important. But this would be January 7th, 1326, or if you, depending on how you depict or write dates, could be July 1st, 1326, but in most cases we're going to refer to it as the first two numbers annotating the month, the second two the day, and the last for the year. So January 7th, 1326. I'll look that date up. I'll put any events that are interesting. I love history, maybe you do too, so I'll put it in the description box for you to check that out. I don't see anything else crazy about this bill though, so I'm just going to kind of move on from it. The reverse of the bill seems to be pretty standard, and nothing's jumping out at me, so, you know, hey, it is what it is. Last bill. Nothing crazy at the serial number. A little bit off on the seal here to the left, but not enough to really incorporate it being an error, count it as an error. These were all Series 2013 notes, so at least we look through something that's really similar to compare them all. So that's nice. Let's look at the reverse of the bill. Once again, I don't see anything that jumps out at me just right offhand, but, you know, if you notice anything throughout the video I do miss stuff, let me know in the comments below. The date bill that we found is this guy here, which is a serial number depicting the date of January 7th, 1326. So I will look up to see if anything happened on that date, put it in the description box. But other than that, we got kind of busted out on this one as far as finding something really rare. That's more often than not. I don't ever think I'm going to get rich off this hobby, but it's definitely fun. In worst case scenario, we still got the same $10 bills we started with. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out the description box for a historical fact on that date, and I will check you out, or you check me. I'll see you in the next video.